Timothy Noah, how great is the Great Divergence?
Well, the Great Divergence is it's pretty lousy actually. It's an increase in income inequality since 1979. We've seen incomes grow steadily more unequal since 1979. There are lots of ways to measure them, but we've seen worse income inequality in the United States than in comparable countries.
And how did we get this way? Whose fault is it? The Democrats, the Republicans, Wall Street, China? Who did it?
Well, I think everybody you mentioned has some role in it, but the Republicans more than the Democrats. There's actually been a study of patterns under Democrats and Republicans in the White House since going back to '48, and you find that under Democrats, the greatest income gains are at the bottom and taper off as you go up the income scale, precise opposite for the Republicans.
Is it purely rich-poor, or does gender or race fit into it?
It's really actually not so much rich poor as it is middle class poor. The trend I'm talking about is the growth in income inequality between middle income people and affluent people. The relationship between, say, middle income people and the poor is not really very much changed over the last 30 years. It was lousy to be poor 30 years ago. It's still lousy to be poor. But we do see a big change in middle incomes versus top incomes.
And is there still upward mobility despite this great divergence? I mean, even though someone's in the 99%, do they still have a shot to get into that 1%, or is it more difficult now?
You have a shot, but it has become certainly no easier and probably a little more difficult. There's some disagreement about whether income mobility has failed to increase or actually slowed down since the 1950s. I think that more people think that it's slowed down a bit, but relative to other countries is where you really see the damage. The United States used to be a world leader in upward mobility, and now we lag most of Western Europe.
And how would you narrow this great divergence? Is it cutting taxes, raising taxes, creating wealth, redistributing wealth? How would you do it?
Well, certainly not cutting taxes. I would raise taxes. Taxes didn't really cause the problem, but raising taxes, putting in a few higher marginal rates on high incomes, say 1 million and 10 million, would be a good start. I'd like to eliminate the privileged treatment of capital gains. That would also help. But there are a number of other things that need to be done too. I re-regulate Wall Street. You probably hear a lot about that on this show. I would improve the education system, and I would revive the labor movement.
This market is
stock pickers market.
Stocks have rallied this year.
We're coming into a Monday where we're going to